Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at Easy Auctioning Box Breaks. And today in this video, we're going to take a look at two more of my old school Magic the Gathering decks. And I think these two, we have a Goblin deck and a black and white deck. If you take a look at my previous videos, you'll see that I like black and white combo either together in one deck or mono. I have several different decks with those colors. It's just there's a lot of synergy, even though they're actually opposite card or colors in the scheme of Magic. But I've made a lot of good decks with those together. So we'll go ahead and pop these open and take a look and see what we have. So right off the bat, this is my Goblin deck, and the first card you see is my unlimited Gauntlet of Might that gives all red creatures +1/+1. All mountains provide an extra red mana when tapped, which helps crank out the goblins. And I know there are newer cards now that would just make this deck ridiculous, but you'll take a look at some of the combos that I have in here from when I was playing this with my friends in our shop. Gosh, 15, 20 to 15 to 20 years ago. So we have our mountains, which we need. Goblin King gives all goblins Mountain Walk and +1/+1. Mog Fanatic's just a 1/1 creature that you can sack to do 1 damage. We got some bolts. Goblin War Buggy 2/2 with haste. It has Echo though, so you have to pay the cost again, which is there are plenty of cards nowadays that are much better than that. Goblin Lookout, sack a goblin. All goblins get +2/+0 until end of turn. Another Fanatic. Here's a Goblin Taskmaster. Target goblin gets +1/+0 for each 1 red and 1 colorless you pump into it. It has morphing ability, so you can play it face down and then pay the 1 red to morph it face up if you want to keep it hidden. Face down, it's a 2/2 colorless creature. Here's an old revised Goblin Balloon Brigade, 1/1 that can get flying for 1 red. Lightning Bolt, Skirk Fire Marshal, protection from red. It's a 2/2 for 5, but the cost is but you tap 5 untapped goblins, and it does 10 damage to each creature and each player. Goblin Bombardment, so you sack a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Another bolt. If you see, there'll be cards in here that crank out goblins. I think there's an enchantment I have in here. I forget the name of it offhand. Goblin Lackey. When it successfully deals damage to a player, you may choose a goblin card in your hand, put it into play. Another Fanatic. Here's a good one. A Goblin Pile Driver. So 1/2 protection from blue. It gets when it attacks, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn for each other attacking goblin. This is in here to give my opponent a mountain if they're not playing red, so I can mountain walk so they can't block. Coat of Arms. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature and play of the same creature type, which is great with the Goblin deck or any themed deck with creatures with the same creatures in the deck. So War Buggy, there's a king. Here's a land, Goblin Burrows. Add 1 colorless, or target goblin gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Another Compass. Here's a reckless one. It has haste. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of goblins in play. Here's another good one, Goblin Recruiter. When you comes into play, you search your library for any number of goblins, reveal them to all players, shuffle your library, and put those cards on top of your library in any order you want. So you'll be just picking goblins for as many turns as you want. There's the Bombardment again. Here's a Coat of Arms. Mountain Balloon Brigade. Here's the enchantment. So you sack 2 goblins to make 3 goblin tokens. And for each 1 red and 2 colors you put in, you can do that as many times as you want. Lookout, Balloon Brigade, another king, another coat. War Chief, goblin spells cost 1 colorless less to play. Goblins you control have haste. There's another Warrens, another Skirk Marshal. Here's a foil coat of arms. I must have taken my Goblin Wizards out of this deck. I did have Goblin Wizards in this deck, but I must have taken them out for some reason, which I cannot remember at the right now. But, you know, by far, this is the best card in the deck, which pretty much works for any red deck, but works well in a Goblin deck too. I do need to update this deck because there's some pretty bad cards in here, and there's a lot of good ones out now from these newer sets that weren't around when I made this deck. And this is the black and white deck. So right off the top, we have a Vindicate, which sorcery just destroys target permanent for 3. Not bad. Plains, here's a black and white Painland, Caves of Koilos, Debtor's Knell. Beginning your upkeep, put a target creature card in a graveyard into play under your control, but it costs 7 to get out. Orzhov Guildmage, you can gain life or each player loses a life. Here's a Death Grasp. Deals X damage to the target creature player, you gain X life. Dark Writ, which just gives you mana. Here's a Mortify, destroys a creature and enchantment. Another Vindicate. Here's a Scrubland, black and white dual land from Revised. Deathpack Angel. When it dies, put a 1/1 white and black cleric creature token onto the battlefield. It has for 6 mana. Sack that creature, return the Deathpack Angel from your graveyard to the battlefield. Guildmage, Angel of Despair. When it comes into play, destroy target permanent. Godless Shrine, which has been reprinted many times in the current standard form. So all of you guys should know what this is. Swords of Plowshares, Dark Writ, Mortify, Debtor's Knell, Temple of Silence. Again, I think this has been reprinted. Let You Scry. Comes in tapped. And you can tap it for 4 white and black or black. Ghost Council of Orzhova. Comes into play. Target opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. Sack a creature. Remove this card from the game. Return it to play under its owner's control at the end of turn. So you can keep getting that 1 life off as long as your opponent doesn't remove this from the game or remove it from your graveyard. Scrub, another Vindicate, another Swords. Here's a Scroll Rack, another good card. If you have bad cards in your hand, you need to switch them out. Swap out the cards you want and draw that many new cards. Unfortunately, I think it puts it... yeah, you put the bad cards on top of your library, so you're going to get them back at some point, unless you have a way of shuffling your library and switching it up. Fortify, Swamps, Caves, Death Grasp, Ghost. Don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's another good land. 1 colorless mana in your mana pool, or for 1 black and 1 colorless, put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Volrath Stronghold from I forget the name of that set. It's from the Tempest block. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the set that this is from. Angel. Scrubs. Yeah, I don't think there's anything new. Yep, so that was that deck. All right, well, thanks for taking a look at some of my old school decks. You guys like what you see? Go ahead and let me know. Tell me what your favorite cards were. I have a pretty good idea of what most of you will say. Please hit the thumbs up like button for the video. Helps us out. Subscribe, please, to the channel if you haven't done so. If you like watching card opening videos, taking a look at old Magic cards, opening up Pokemon in Magic, non-sport such as Star Wars and such. We will be doing every now and then PSA reveals. PSA just acknowledged receipt of a 100 card submission that I sent in September, and it's December 4th, December 5th. So that's how long it's taking just for them to acknowledge it. Now, you know, it was a bulk order, so it's the ridiculous 90 something day. So at some point in 2021, probably in the summer, I'll be getting it back, which is good because there's some baseball in there, a lot of baseball in there. So hopefully at that time, those players will be doing great and we'll make some money off of those cards. But until then, take care. Thanks for watching the video, and you guys have a good night.